Remember, I mentioned stigmatization as something that can cause grief because when you let it get to you, it is hard to see yourself as anything else. Stigma is a mark of shame or disgrace associated with a person, a thing, or a group of people. There are so many things that can make a person feel stigmatized. Slandering. When you slander a person, that means you spread false stories about them, false spoken words about them, with the aim of ruining their reputation. When you ruin a person's reputation, definitely you have attached some stigma to them because you have adulterated the image others have about them. When people see this person that have been stigmatized, the first thing that comes to their mind is the stories that has caused that stigma to them. Even though slandering can cause stigma to a person, but like I always say, nothing is impactful unless it weighs you down. Your reaction to this stigma is what really matters in the end. Stigma can also be caused by things that are actually true. For instance, if someone has a certain disease and the story is shared among people, there is this stigma attached to having this disease. Because when someone sees you, the first thing that comes to their mind is, oh, this person has this disease or that disease. What can cause someone who is stigmatized feel bad? I will be giving you the opportunity to process your emotions because even though I might have guidelines to help you today, only your true determination can bring you out of that cobweb of stigma that you are in. You may feel stigmatized because the version of you that is true is not the same as the tainted version of you. The tainted version of you is the version of you that people have wrapped in those stigma-inducing words. So who you are may not closely align with that version of you that people have created. You can also feel stigmatized because who you are may just be that person that is being stigmatized. Maybe who you are is the same as that person that is being stigmatized, and that is something about yourself you have not come to terms with. These are just a few things I'm mentioning to help us. How can you let go of that stigma? How can you make it not be as impactful on you? Even though the stigmatization lies in the minds and in the hands of people, but your reaction to these stories, the impact you let it have on you, is all in your hands. I have 2 questions to ask you that you need to genuinely answer. The first question is, who are you genuinely? When you go into your house, shut the door. When you are alone with your thoughts, who are you? Are you the same person as the one being stigmatized? Is that who you really are? Those false stories about you, are they true? If your answer is no, why are you stressing yourself? You cannot control the things people say about you. You cannot control the feelings of people about you. You can only control how you choose to react to these things. The second question is, who are you in the eyes of God? Because at the end of the day, that is the ultimate one we should all strive to have a good image before. You cannot control how people see you, but one way or the other, you can control how God sees you by your actions, by the way you live your life. Does God see you in the manner that you think others see you, that's human beings? Or does God know you within? Does He know who you really are? And if the answer is yes, why are you bothering yourself? Why are you bothering yourself because one person somewhere has said or done things that are not the genuine definition of yourself. Now, if who you are is closely aligned with that stigmatized version people have about you, I have good news for you today. You can change. Change is the only constant thing in life. Everything in this world, every living thing, from animals to plants, everything, name it, even insects metamorphose, everything changes. How much more you, that is a human being, that have a higher capacity of reasoning? Why do you think you cannot change? So instead of dwelling in that box of stigma that you are in, try as much as you can to take the necessary steps to change yourself. Feeling stigmatized is a damage on your self image. It's like your mind has been littered with dirt. That signifies your self image, what you think about yourself, the concept of who you are in your mind. It's white. I'll use this as an illustration. It's clean. There is no stain here, right? And this pen signifies people and what they say about you. Say, for instance, you've been labeled with so many bad words, so many cruel names, and those words have begun to dirty your image, your self-image, your self-worth, everything. The brutal words said about you, against you, or to you. When they say those things, it begins to dirty the image you have about yourself, because there's no way you will go somewhere and someone labels you with a bad adjective and it doesn't weigh you down. It's going to tell on you eventually. And people call you bad names. The words people call you begin to swell your mind. That's the mental image you have about yourself. Like clothes, no matter how damaging a stain is, with the right detergent, you can wash off any stain. If I go and I soak this in hypo with hot water, just any way you want to, but use the right detergent, the stains are going to come off with time. How then can you wash your mind? You wash your mind by feeding it with positive thoughts, positive affirmations. Elevate yourself by saying good things to yourself. Fine, maybe the world is cruel to you, maybe the world feeds you with bad words. You don't have to be the same way. You don't have to do the same to yourself. If the world calls you a bad name, when you are in your own space, tell yourself, I am great. I am the head and not the tail. I am made for signs and wonders. I am beautiful. I am wonderful. I am smart. I am this. I am that. Tell yourself elevating things. Spread kindness to yourself. The second step is to create time for self-appraisal. Be self-aware. Self-awareness is the knowledge of one's self. Self-understanding. When you understand yourself, you know who you are, you know what you are, what defines you. If you know yourself, you should know your flaws. A self-aware person is not only aware of their positive aspects. A very self-aware person knows their bad aspects. So when you're self-aware, you will take the steps to correct those aspects of yourself you do not like. If you're self-aware and you have compared the stigmatized version to yourself, if it connects and you do not like it, take the steps to correct it. But if you're self-aware and someone calls you names that you know is not you, that does not define you in any way, you're not going to let it put you down. A self-aware person is not easily moved by the words of other people. A self-aware person does not let the things people say define them. A self-aware person already knows who they are. They are confident in the knowledge of themselves. So why will you as a person have confidence in yourself and someone comes and calls you a name that is not you and you begin to let it weigh you down? Write down the qualities of yourself you adore. Let me tell you this. Everybody in the world have good aspects of themselves. There is nobody that has it 100% bad, and there is nobody that has it 100% excellent. We all have great qualities, great attributes, great things that define us, and so are the bad. The sad thing is, human beings like to promote the bad sides of people, forgetting their good. So if people take it upon themselves to always project aspects of you that are not so pleasing to the world, why not do the exact opposite? Start promoting your good qualities. Start projecting it more, even if not to the world, but to yourself. Look within. What are those positive attributes? What are those things that are great about you? If nobody is going to applaud you, applaud yourself. And eventually, the world is going to adjust. So create the time for self-appraisal. Self-appraisal will boost your self-awareness. Because when you're self-appraising, you're finding out qualities about yourself that are great. You're finding out qualities about yourself that are not so good. And you take the needed steps to correct it. Disassociate yourself from people that try to promote the version of yourself that is false. Disassociate yourself. Why are you trying to be friends or be cool with people that take pleasure in talking about aspects of you that are not true? If you have friends that would rather hold on to the false image or the tainted version of you than your great aspects, you don't have any business dealing with such people. Disassociate yourself so that you can start focusing on the positive part of yourself. Listen to things that can raise your self-confidence. When you've been stigmatized, it is hard for you to have self-confidence because self-confidence is the belief in one's ability. How can you believe in yourself when people have tried to make you feel like you're not good enough based on the stigma that has been added to you? It's not possible. So try and listen to things that can boost your self-confidence. That will gradually take away that stigma you feel. Now, on your journey to healing yourself of this stigma, I want you to be kind to yourself. I want you to know that Jesus Christ, when he was on earth, did not have a flawless image in the eyes of everybody. When Christ came to die for our sins, even the ones he came to save laughed at him, they mocked him, they called him a blasphemer. They called him names. They said he was projecting himself as someone he wasn't. They said he was calling himself God when he was not God. He was crucified. The Son of God died in the most humiliating way you can think of. So who are you? Who am I? Who are we that when people hold false image about us, we let it define us and we start living every day in grief?